Kenberg, Jay Billis, Bob Wenzel at the Georgia Dome, 30,000 plus, and we're underway to move to the Elite Eight. Two Mitchells are not related. This is the freshman Tasman Mitchell to Glenn. Big Baby Davis makes his move inside and scores.
The most compelling matchup of this game, the SEC Player of the Year, Glenn Davis, going right at Sheldon Williams, last year's National Defensive Player of the Year.
And a hold on Temple of LSU. Garrett Temple, third-generation player with the Tigers.
Davis is more of a face-up postman, but you can see at 310 pounds, he's got terrific feet. He can maneuver, he can go past people.
He said, I know all about the All-American Sheldon Williams. We got to go, and we're going to go toe-to-toe. The freshman McRoberts inside. Dockery, this veteran senior, out on the point. The freshman Paulus, and Williams way outside to bang in a 15-footer. So Sheldon Williams answers outside to Glenn Davis's play inside.
Duke going man-to-man. Sean Dockery guarding Daryl Mitchell. That's going to be a key matchup. It forces others to handle the ball. Tasman Mitchell has to pick up his dribble 30 feet from the basket.
Oh, a near steal by McRoberts. Here's Daryl Mitchell. He had the big basket against Texas A&M to beat the Aggies by one in the last round. The high lob, and look how quickly back on defense Tyrus Thomas, the freshman of the year in the SEC, to make the defensive play.
Sheldon Williams pushed way off the lane by Glenn Davis, but able to face up and put that shot right over Davis. Williams has a little bit of an advantage stepping away because he can shoot over the top of Davis.
Paulus, a freshman from Syracuse, New York, calls out the play. Daryl Mitchell on him. J.J. Redick. His first shot's from in the lane. And it's knocked outside to Daryl Mitchell on the fly. Dockery to beat. Tasman Mitchell. And LSU 4-2.
You have really got to get back in transition defense. This is a very athletic LSU team, and already Williams and Davis really banging down low, fighting for that low block.
McRoberts against Tyrus Thomas. And he loses the dribble, but was last touched by Thomas.
You can see the fast break. Daryl Mitchell loses it, but is able still to get it to Tasman Mitchell. Mitchell doing a nice job of running the floor. The advantage in transition went to LSU.
They're not related. Tasman, the freshman, and Daryl, the senior. Ball fake by Redick, and that sets up Paulus to move down the lane. Has it knocked away, but regains.
Duke a little shaky with
2
their
seconds,
ball
one. He has to force Paulus, and it just touches the front of the rim. It was a shot violation. A reminder coming up next, Bradley and Memphis, 13th seed Bradley. What a beautiful surprise from Peoria against the #1 seed Memphis Tigers. We'll take you there shortly. And we'll be going back and forth as action heats up at Oakland and in Atlanta at these two regionals. DeMarcus Nelson in for the first time for Duke. He's defensing on the ball as Garrett Temple brings it in. Boy, there's some talented freshmen on this LSU team. There's one of them, Tasman Mitchell. Ball recovered by McRoberts. J.J. Redick the other way.
LSU trying to tack off the dribble. They still have to move the ball from side to side if they're going to tack off the bounce.
Offensive foul on Redick. And John Brady, the coach of the Tigers, likes that. Undoubtedly, Coach K not happy at all with the call.
Well, this LSU team doesn't get near the credit they deserve for being a terrific defensive team, and John Brady, their coach, I don't think got near the credit he deserved for doing a great coaching job this year in the Southeastern Conference.
And many felt he was the coach of the year in the SEC. Garrett Temple sets up Thomas. Tyrus Thomas, freshman of the year, unable to connect, and Williams clears the boards. He's been playing on a double-double basis all year. Look at how high Tyrus Thomas goes up to take away the lob. Paulus hits the three, and Duke leads by one.
Duke's best shot has come off of a broken play. Duke is not going to be able to lob that ball over Tyrus Thomas. He is perhaps the best interior athlete they have faced this season.
Look how the big man can handle the ball as well. Takes it up the lane and scores. And a foul.
Well, Dick Enberg, Big Baby Glenn Davis told us that in football he was a tailback. Perhaps in basketball he might want to think a point guard. Look at that pass fake and getting around Josh McRoberts, picking up the foul, and more importantly for LSU, finishing the play.
Imagine that. Glenn Davis is 40 pounds heavier in high school, played tailback at 350. He's down to a svelte 310. This is the three-point play, and here comes Duke down by 1.
High screen up top by Sheldon Williams, and he'll roll to the basket.
Melchione in now for Duke as well. Lee Melchione, the 6'6" senior. Way off the mark is DeMarcus Nelson with that long shot. And the cry air ball predictably echoes here at the Georgia Dome.
Well, Duke's ball movement has been almost non-existent on the offensive end, settling for jump shots.
Tasman Mitchell and now to Daryl Mitchell. Interestingly, that Daryl Mitchell not bringing the ball down in the early going.
He hasn't been able to get it.
And that's going to be a block on Duke. Melchione will pick up his first foul.
I think the free throw line is going to be a very important factor in this ball game. In Duke's losses this year, they've been outshot from the free throw line by 12 per game.
Team that makes more free throws, Duke, than opponents take. Well off the mark is Tasman Mitchell. And Thomas knocks it out of bounds. And Melchione will play it for Duke. Blue Devils, the omnipotent college power. This is their 9th consecutive year in the Final 16. Williams, same spot he hit his first one, misses this time, and up the ladder goes Tyrus Thomas.
What an athlete.
Oh, does he get it? Ball knocked away, and Williams on the turnover.
This is not a great LSU ball handling team. Whenever it's out of the hands of Daryl Mitchell, it's advantage Duke.
Reddick has taken one shot, and that was from 5 feet. Here's the three-pointer, and makes it. The all-time three-point shooter in the ACC, the all-time scorer in the Atlantic Coast Conference, has his first three.
Look how far out LSU having to start their offense.
Davis lost it for a moment.
A lot of non-handlers for LSU having to handle the ball.
Thomas throws it away. Intercepted by Reddick, and a foul. LSU Tigers from Baton Rouge, the state capital, with a 25-8 record for John Brady, beat Iona and Texas A&M. A tight game against the Aggies, 58-57 to get here in the Final 16. Melchione has trouble with the ball handling, able to bat it to Reddick. Good ball fake, and then inside to Sheldon Williams, working on Davis. Short, but underneath. The Blue Devils keep it alive. Another block, but it goes to Williams. Blocked again by Tyrus Thomas. I haven't seen anyone jump this high all season long.
Well, Tyrus Thomas is absolutely extraordinary. Redshirt freshman, he had 7 blocked shots against UConn, and inside absolutely dominated the Huskies earlier this year.
Sheldon Williams, a collision, and Williams able to lay it over the lip. He has 4. Duke leads by 4.
And that's how you neutralize a shot blocker, by going right into his chest. Sheldon Williams did that. Tyrus Thomas went down.
6'7" freshman Tasman Mitchell bringing it up court to Daryl Mitchell.
But Dick, look how far LSU is having to start their offense away from the basket. That makes their passes longer, their drives longer, and forces them into turnover situations.
Davis in trouble. And now Daryl Mitchell open, passes up the shot inside to Davis. And the foul is going to be on Thomas of LSU.
Tyrus Thomas is quick off his feet. Didn't go for the shot fake, but able to get this second hook by Sheldon Williams and sending it all the way back out. And this time Williams, a little bit of a flop by Thomas. You can't block a shot while you're on your back. He'd be better off making that a more difficult shot by Williams, shooting over.
Foul was on Tyrus Thomas, his first. Josh McRoberts and Sean Dockery return to the Duke lineup. Blue Devils by 4. Tyrus Thomas is 6'9", redshirt freshman. McRoberts, 6'9" for Duke. And Tasman Mitchell pulls it in for the purple and gold of LSU. Just a few minutes. Those of you waiting for Bradley and Memphis will be switching out to Oakland. Way outside is Davis to try the jumper, and out of bounds to Duke. First of 2 with The Mountaineers of West Virginia and the Longhorns of Texas in game 2 of this doubleheader in Atlanta. Both teams shooting 33% out of the gate. Reddick using his body but can't get it to fall.
Duke could have moved this lead out. The last few possessions for LSU, they have not taken good shots.
Foul on Sean Dockery of Duke, who as LSU has not scored in the last 4 minutes. Near the end of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game. Each team, Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. America's brand supports America's best. Chevy, an American revolution. Big Baby takes a breather. Got that nickname playing Pee-wee football when he was 5 years old. He said, that's not exactly complimentary for an adult. Big Baby says, I like it. No more questions.
Well, Dick, because of Duke's pressure, LSU has been going one-on-one. They are not running much offense right now, and as a result, they haven't gotten many good shots.
Inside is Lazar just into the game for Davis. And Darnell Lazar, a 6'8 junior from Baton Rouge, has his first points in a hurry.
Much better execution off of that dead ball.
Reddick hidden over in the far corner. Now breaks out behind the screen, and there has to give up the 3.
Garrett Temple right with him. He has been going for fakes, so Reddick can still use a ball fake, get him to fly by.
Paulus takes it inside, and it's stolen by Darnell Mitchell. At the other end, the basket by Lazar. He comes off the bench for 2 quick baskets to tie it at 10.
Greg Paulus forced it on one end. The turnover led to a run out, and everybody from LSU ran the floor.
Daryl Mitchell steal set up the 2, and here's Paulus way downtown. Rebound by Mitchell. A long pass, and then the pass back to Mitchell and out of bounds to LSU.
And Duke is trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Daryl Mitchell, their primary handler, make everyone else handle the ball, which aren't as adept at handling and more likely to turn it over. That way LSU having to start their offense far further out on the floor than they're used to.
This is Mitchell. Daryl Mitchell is the only senior on this LSU squad. Inside to Davis, back into the game. Off the mark, tipped out to Reddick.
Duke came with the double team on Davis, still with his agility, able to get around it.
Dockery for the 3, cleared away by Tasman Mitchell to Daryl Mitchell. Throws it away. Very sloppy at this stage.
Well, Mitchell had a 3, but he bobbled the ball, decided to pass it rather than pull the trigger.
Sheldon Williams being given a rest by Mike Krzyzewski for Duke. McRoberts, Melchione now the big men on the court as Reddick takes it inside. It won't fall. The tip not there by McRoberts. And ripping down the rebound was Tasman Mitchell. At 6'7", he can clear. He's averaging 5.5 rebounds a game on the year.
Well, he's an athletic player that can put it on the floor, solid defensively, still learning the game.
Melchione on Big Baby, and that was going to go against Davis for the charge. Some of the fans don't like it. And Davis, you didn't have to get much of that 310 on you to knock you over.
Well, when that 310 gets moving, when Melchione established initial guarding position, he's allowed to move his feet to maintain that guarding position. Even though he was moving, that was still a charge.
Plus, Davis was using the hand, too. His first foul. Ready. And that'll be a travel as
you can see Duke in the backcourt sandwiching Daryl Mitchell, trying to get the ball inbounded to someone else. Now it's Tyrus Thomas having to handle it. He is not a handler.
Sheldon Williams, meanwhile, has returned to the Duke lineup. He's down in the post. It's the landlord. That's his nickname, Sheldon Williams, against Big Baby. Landlord owns the property, and he's had that tag since his high school days back in Oklahoma.
Well, Big Baby tonight trying to be rent control.
He needs a double suite, that's for sure. Tasman Mitchell outside to Garrett Temple. And Duke, they fall down quickly sometimes. from the corner, and the hit by Garrett Temple, the freshman from Baton Rouge, his first points.
Greg Paulus switched on that little exchange on the left side and left Duke with only 4 defenders. Temple wide open in the corner. He was ready to shoot when the ball arrived.
Unusual dry spell for the Blue Devils. Oh, Brady wanted traveling on that play by Sheldon Williams, working inside. He has a half dozen. (13-12). LSU with the ball in the lead. 9 minutes plus remaining in this opening half. Daryl Mitchell. He hits a 17-footer, and it's the Tigers by 3.
Boy, what a terrific screen. Daryl Mitchell able to come around that screen and curl it, and rubbed his man off it to get an easy look.
And another foul on Big Baby Davis. He used the forearm in the back. That's his second.
Well, that's just a sign of youth there, Dick. He'd gotten his work done. You can see this little screen by Big Baby. Coming around it was Mitchell. He peeled off J.J. Redick and curled it, feeling Redick was behind and trailing. But Big Baby, once he gets Sheldon Williams off of that lane, he doesn't need to push him anymore. He's done his work already.
So Davis leaves the game 4 points and no rebounds. And the play underneath, a tie-up, and the arrow has it going to the Blue Devils. There he is, a double-double average in the tournament thus far for Glenn Davis, as a sophomore player of the year in the Southeastern Conference. And we'll see how much that handicaps the Tigers as Redick goes for the 3, and Tasman Mitchell another rebound.
Mitchell has been doing a good job weak side rebounding on the defensive end.
Inside, a strong move by Lazar. Darnell Lazar leads the Tigers with 6 off the bench.
Well, Lazar has run the floor. He's attacked in transition, and he is unafraid of going right at Sheldon Williams.
Biggest lead for LSU. Duke 2 of the last 11. Sheldon Williams can't hit. Partially blocked. That's Tyrus Thomas again. He goes coast to coast, and the foul's on Thomas. Should have pulled up.
Yeah, he's got to treat that free throw line as a stop sign. He had a break. But Sheldon Williams, a gamble by Lazar and blocked by Tyrus Thomas cleanly, and taking it the other way, just a little bit too exuberant, trying to get the ball to the rim at the other end.
And Thomas now has 2 fouls, so the 2 bright young stars, freshman Thomas, sophomore Davis, on the bench here with plenty of time left in this first half, each saddled with 2.
It wouldn't be a surprise to see LSU go to a little bit of zone. They are long and athletic and have played a fair amount of 2-3 zone this year.
Sheldon Williams powering his way underneath. What a move. That's a veteran senior. 8 points. Sheldon Williams.
Well, it's a senior knowing that he had a freshman on a magnum roll, and a nice little up and under move got roll off his feet.
Magnum roll, number 15 in the game for the first time for LSU, replacing Thomas. Daryl Mitchell can't hit. Lazar. And McRoberts rips down the rebound. Long pass, too long for Sheldon Williams.
Get you back to Atlanta and rejoin Dick Enberg and Jay Billis.
LSU with the ball and a 17-14 lead. 16 fouls on the Tigers, 4 for Duke as we approach the 7-minute mark before the intermission. Lazar, who has really contributed as a reserve in this first half. Again, 2 star players, Thomas and Davis, on the bench for LSU as Daryl Mitchell works his way inside to score. He has 4.
And you can see the importance of Daryl Mitchell to this LSU offense. When he does not have the ball in his hands, this offense has been stagnant. When he has the ball, they get something done.
Lazar comes up with a loose ball. 6th turnover on Duke. Lazar's open for that 17-footer, short. But look at Tasman Mitchell, great position underneath, and the Tigers enjoy their biggest lead.
That's a tough matchup for J.J. Redick on the glass. Redick not known as a rebounder. Tasman Mitchell much stronger, bigger, and more athletic.
Redick has hit just 1 tray. Sheldon Williams has been shouldering the offense. He has 4 of the 6 field goals for Duke. There he is underneath as Redick has to give it off to McRoberts. He can't hit. Boy, LSU is just sweeping the glass clean. A 15-4 run for LSU.
Garrett Temple has done a terrific job on J.J. Redick. He's left his feet a few times, but he's forced him to put the ball on the floor. 10-second violation on Garrett Temple.
Boy, that was a fast 10.
Well, they go by the clock. They can tell by the shot clock. When it gets down to 25, they know 10 is gone.
Yeah, that's an easy call. So the good pressure in the backcourt by the Duke defense forces the turnover, and that statistic is even 6 aside. Paulus and Dockery with Redick in the backcourt. Williams and McRoberts inside as Redick travels.
Very few teams have been able to corral J.J. Redick because he is so good coming off screens, changing pace. But LSU in this first half has been as effective as anyone all season long.
Another fall down by Dockery, no call. Lazar powers inside and gets the roll. 23-14. LSU opens up the 9-point advantage. 8 for Lazar.
And Sheldon Williams just gave up the baseline to Lazar.
Meanwhile, Redick is 1 for 5, only 3 points in the first 15 minutes. He has it rejected. Magnum roll with that block, and then stolen back by Paulus. He takes it in for 2. Big play by freshman Greg Paulus. With LSU enjoying the peak of momentum, they turn it over, and it costs them 2 points.
Well, Paulus is a very alert defender, still emerging, but a terrific young player.
Shot way off by Roll, and then Roll almost with a steal. Paulus controls. Oh, no one picked up Sheldon Williams, and then they strip him of the ball. No foul. No foul again as Williams powers his way like a fullback, and now traveling the call. Oh my. That brought Krzyzewski jumping off the bench.
A chaotic possession for Duke. Craig Paulus getting it down low. Terrific play by Tasman Mitchell to knock it away from Sheldon Williams and save the basket, but then Mitchell flopped on that play.
I'm glad to see that. The officials aren't calling the flop at either end. Paulus with a foul on Temple, and Greg Paulus has his first foul. So you can win an NCAA related prize every 35 seconds at mycokerewards.com/NCAA. 4:25 left in the half. LSU leading #1 Duke 23-16. Darrell Mitchell misses off the front of the iron, and Sheldon Williams clears. Duke 7 field goals made here in the first half. 8 turnovers. Certainly out of character for the #1 seeds overall. Paulus sees a clear path. Can't hit.
Well, he was worried about the shot block.
Darrell Mitchell, and Dockery knocks it away from him. 3-on-1. Redick for 3. On transition, Redick clear to hit his patented tray, his second of the game.
What an alert pass by Greg Paulus. In the old days, you try to get to the rim in transition. Now you look for J.J. Redick at the three-point line. It's almost like a layup.
A lot of players hitting the deck. Roll, a little spin and a jam as he worked his way from McRoberts for the easy 2. And Mike Krzyzewski doesn't like that. He's called time. LSU 25-19. Duke ball, 3.5 to go. Interestingly, not a free throw made so far. In fact, only 1 taken, as Duke has committed 5 fouls, LSU 6. They letting him play.
J.J. Redick, 2 or 3 dribbles to get anything off this LSU team. They've been there on the catch. Garrett Temple doing a terrific job on Redick.
Williams inside for an easy 2, and Sheldon Williams without Big Baby Davis now has 10 to lead all scorers. And a foul in the backcourt holding Dockery, his second. So from now on, all fouls will send a player to the line.
That's his second, 16 foul.
Ben Voog, a freshman from Florence, Oregon, #4, is into the game for the first time. He's with a dribble now for LSU. Back here in the Georgia Dome, McRoberts anticipates, steals it from Mitchell. And they look inside to Sheldon Williams. Penetration, Paulus, right to Williams. And Williams has another 2. He's dominating inside without Davis. He has 12. And Duke, once down by 9, pulls within 2.
LSU trying to get to halftime without Davis or Thomas in the ballgame.
Tasman Mitchell works his way inside, and the 6'7" freshman with an easy 2 points for 6 in the game.
Last couple of possessions, LSU's done a pretty good job of using Duke's overplay against it with a couple of nice backdoor moves. First it was Roll, then Lazar.
From the corner, Sean Dockery, not there. Rebound, LSU's Mitchell. Mitchell has quite a collection here off the boards here in this first half. Well, they give him only 4. Goodness, I figured he had more than that. Temple to Lazar, and that little baby hook. Lazar leading LSU with 10.
Well, Lazar has a nice touch on that little jump hook, and he has been getting into the lane, whether it's in transition or in their half-court offense.
Fans wanted a carryover on Reddick, and Reddick finally gets it into Williams, and a foul. Almost unstoppable, the landlord inside. Reminder coming up on Singular at the half. Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis take you out for a live look at that Bradley-Memphis game and all the latest tournament news, plus a Singular Naismith update, all coming up on Singular at the half. Duke averages a game 26 attempts. This is their first, and it comes with 1:28 left in this half. Dockery out, and McRoberts back in for Duke. And Sheldon Williams looking for his 14th point. Look at that, 1,500 points, 1,000 rebounds, 350 blocks, 150 steals. Only 2 other players in NCAA history able to accomplish that before Williams this year.
David Robinson, Purvis Ellison. Talk about a productive career. Sheldon Williams has had just that. He has been a workhorse since he first arrived in Durham.
With all the now there's a travel on Tasman Mitchell, and the turnover with 76 seconds left in the half is the 10th for John Brady's Tigers.
Just sloppy ball handling by LSU.
With all the attention to J.J. Reddick and the battle for the National Player of the Year, second to Adam Morrison in scoring, Sheldon Williams, all he did was the number 3 scorer in the ACC and the top rebounder.
And shot blocker.
From the corner, Melchione tries the 3. No! McRoberts comes down heavily on his elbow and hopefully is okay. That was a body slam for the big guy.
Well, you can see the athleticism of Josh McRoberts going up high over the top of Tasman Mitchell.
Ball out of bounds to Duke. Inside and wide open, McRoberts. He's okay. 29-27, LSU's lead whittled to 2 again. First points for McRoberts. We're in the final minute. Paulus on Mitchell. They let him bring it down this time. Pass inside. And the follow by the smallest man on the court, Daryl Mitchell. He's only 5'11". 30-second timeout taken by Duke. And LSU's Tigers, they play basically 7 men is all any significant time. They've been without 2 outstanding starters. Their big center, Glenn Davis, and their big rebounder and second leading scorer, Tyrus Thomas. Their top 2 scorers have been out for almost, well, more than 11 minutes and almost 12 for Davis, and yet they've maintained the lead as we're in the final seconds. Duke trailing by 4.
Duke into its 2-3 motion delay set. Just trying to run some time down before they call a set play out of the timeout.
We'll watch for Reddick. He's on the far side. Down to 8.5. Sheldon Williams makes his move to 4, and he shoots from outside. Doesn't fall, and rebound LSU. So the Tigers of John Brady, and their fans applaud too. And with the foul trouble haunting the LSU's top 2 scorers, you take Davis and Thomas. They averaged 31 points between them this year, only 4 in that first half.
They did have an impact when they were in the ball game, but extraordinary for LSU to be up after having Tyrus Thomas and Glenn Davis miss the last essentially 8-9 minutes of the first half. But with the contribution of Lazar and the outstanding play defensively by Garrett Temple, on J.J. Redick, holding J.J. Redick to just 2 of 7 from the field. An outstanding first half by LSU.
Those two were trays for his 6 points. Davis and Thomas start for LSU in the second half, and Davis fires, gets his own rebound. Williams blocks him. Sheldon Williams. Turnabout is fair play. Williams leading all scorers in the first half, and right into Williams. He'll work on Davis, trying to get that third foul, and he got it in a hurry. We're just 29 seconds into this second half.
Sheldon Williams has a unique ability to block shots with either hand. And the foul, the little up and under move, not much there, but when you stray away from vertical and bring those arms down, you are more likely than not to get a foul called against you. Tough break for Glenn Davis.
Played only 8 minutes and 12 seconds of the first half when he got his second foul. Sheldon Williams seeks his 15th point of the game, averaging almost 19 on the season. Good free throw shooter, nearly 3 out of 4, 74% on the year. And he gets 1 out of 2, and Duke pulls within 3. Daryl Mitchell on the long pass. And out of bounds, and a foul is called on the scramble as Sean Dockery picks up his third for Duke.
That was a really nice job by Josh McRoberts, the freshman from Duke, not only to run the floor back in transition defense, but to set his feet and get in front of Tyrus Thomas, almost causing a walk.
Tyrus Thomas did not score in the first half as he picked up his second foul shortly after Davis with more than 11 minutes to go in the half. Davis outside to Temple for 3. Sheldon Williams with a rebound. He's got 5, working on another double-double. McRoberts, Redick, Williams, Paulus, Dockery for Duke in white. Sheldon Williams. Look at McRoberts get inside but can't hit.
And Thomas again blocking that shot. That time from behind after McRoberts slid past him for the offensive rebound. What an extraordinary athlete.
It's his 4th block, and he's barely played. Seems like he has more than that. Temple will try another 3. Misses again, but there's Big Baby, and he has it knocked away from him by Paulus. Greg Paulus, who could have played football at any major Division I program, highly recruited, Notre Dame and others. Elected to go to Duke and concentrate on basketball out of Syracuse, New York.
And such a savvy competitor. This, Dick, the first year that he's been able to devote himself full-time to basketball.
Led the ACC in assists. Not bad for a first-year player. And there's another turnover. Temple, bad pass. 11 turnovers for LSU.
Duke very loose with the ball in the first half, turning it over as well. But J.J. Redick needs to get some touches.
With Big Baby Davis staying in there, figures they'll go to Sheldon Williams as often as Duke can. Redick able to get it in the corner to McRoberts. McRoberts. And he draws the foul. And that might be on Thomas. So you couldn't ask for a better situation if you're Duke to get their 2 big stars in foul trouble. It's Thomas. He's got 3, and Davis has got 3. McRoberts at the line, looking for his 3rd point. Here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, we're underway in the second half. 18-11 remaining, and the big story is 2 quick fouls are called. 1 against Davis, 1 against Thomas, who set out most of the first half with 2 fouls. And the top 2 scorers for LSU have 3 in a hurry to open this second half, and the game is down to a 2-point contest.
Duke still trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Daryl Mitchell, their primary handler.
Tasman Mitchell, the 6'7" freshman, doing a lot of the ball handling. And here's Daryl. Daryl Mitchell inside, and an acrobatic move as he has his 8th point.
Such a good basketball player, so strong off the dribble. Really a 2-guard that is converted to play the point, and he has had a fantastic season.
Redick and a body check called against Temple. His 2nd foul, and the 4th on LSU to open this second half.
Able to turn the corner off Sean Dockery. J.J. Redick trying to come over and slide in, take the charge.
Redick pulls up for a 15-footer, won't fall. Reddick, uncharacteristic shooting coldness here in the NCAA tournament. He's 2 for 8 in the game tonight.
Well, they've made him bounce it on every possession. It's been rare that he's gotten a clean look.
Daryl Mitchell tries the 3 and Reddick clears. This brilliant senior loses the ball on the dribble. Temple with Mitchell. Daryl Mitchell takes it in. No goaltending. Yes. Whistle comes from Jim Burr on the outside. Basket good to LSU and Daryl Mitchell.
LSU has fast hands and feet. You can see Garrett Temple just reaching in with that right arm across the body of J.J. Reddick. Reddick showed him the ball. And once that ball hit the backboard, it was coming down, and Josh McRoberts got it on the way down.
Blue Devils shooting only 31% in the game from the floor. Nice move going inside by McRoberts. He has 5.
Well, Lazar's got to have a better closeout on that. You don't mind Josh McRoberts taking that shot, but you don't want to give up a layup on a poor closeout.
Darnell Lazar, who replaced Tyrus Thomas in the first half and delivered 10 points off the bench, has returned for LSU. Out of bounds to the Tigers, and Daryl Mitchell will play it in.
LSU trying to screen Davis down into that low post.
Tasman Mitchell, who led LSU with 8 rebounds the first half. Davis able to bull his way inside.
At 310 pounds, able to split that double team like he's
tough
been.
to do. Well, that's the guard tackle hole.
Duke needs to go inside to Sheldon Williams. Let him work on Davis.
Williams starts high, now works inside, and he's blocked by Lazar. Gets it back. Dockery can't connect. Good hands by Daryl Mitchell. Back to Big Davis, and he throws it away. No, it was deflected by Duke out of bounds.
Back in Atlanta, LSU leading Duke by 6, and some frustration on the part of the Blue Devils starting to show. 24 minutes, only 31 points. J.J. Reddick walking back to the bench. He has not been able to get anything going in this ball game, and throwing the towel. Not throwing it in, but throwing it to the floor.
And he comes out and makes a steal of the inbounds pass. Can't hit the tough layup, and it rolls off LSU. But Reddick makes something happen defensively.
And Reddick still frustrated.
I think that the players that have not seen LSU and have not faced them on the court are all shocked, and we heard that rumble throughout the regular season. You can't believe how athletic this LSU team is. The Georgia Dome, Duke on the game shooting 31% on the season, almost 50%, and credit that LSU defense. They've contested every shot.
LSU is long and athletic, and Garrett Temple has really been shadowing J.J. Reddick everywhere he's been. He's been there on the catch, forcing him to put it down.
Nice pass by Reddick, and there's another block. Williams does not get the timeout called. He tried, but held ball, and the arrow points to Duke.
Garrett Temple forcing J.J. Reddick to put the ball on the floor, and it's been 2 or 3 dribbles to get it into the lane where Reddick's got to score over those athletic shot blockers of the Tigers. He dropped it off to Sheldon Williams, and again, the shot sent back. This is a very good defensive team that probably doesn't get near the credit it deserves for being able to guard so effectively.
The only man to penetrate that defense, Sheldon Williams, with 15. The rest of the Duke roster was 16. Official conference. And back comes Tyrus Thomas, the 6'9" freshman from Baton Rouge McKinley High School. Didn't play basketball his freshman and sophomore year in high school. Was not heavily recruited. Sat out a redshirt year. Grew 2 inches and gained 30 pounds. And now 6'9" and 215. And the #2 scorer in the season for the Tigers.
John Brady wanted to bring Tyrus Thomas in as a walk-on, but they just happened to have a scholarship available. Can you imagine that?
Shot clock at 2-1. McRoberts. It'll count if it goes. And there's Sheldon Williams to clear. And and so patient, using a variety of moves. That's just what a senior brings to a team, and why they're so valued by all the coaches around the country.
Well, he's so strong, and he understands that Tyrus Thomas is in foul trouble, and Thomas cannot be as aggressive shot blocking.
Thomas takes it inside to Davis, and over the top. Foul will be called on McRoberts. He knew it. His second.
Sheldon Williams gets the ball underneath, off the rebound, immediately takes it back in, the spin move, the up and under, and just hesitates in order to get Tyrus Thomas off the floor so he can go up as Thomas was coming back down.
Here's Glenn Davis, an honor student, 3.2 grade point average. 69.5% free throw shooter on the season. He's missed both attempts tonight. Took ballet in high school, not because he wanted to improve his footwork. He had eyes on a young girl he wanted to impress. Tailback at 350 pounds, an honor student, and he has a tremendous personality. This young man is going to be successful basketball or whatever when he leaves LSU.
Ought to have his own talk show. What an engaging kid.
5-point lead for LSU. They've led since Duke gave up the advantage at 10-8 early in the game, and they give up the ball on this occasion. Bill Mitchell deflected by Paulus. Give him credit. Redick on the run. Pulls up for a 12-footer. Nelson back in the game. DeMarcus Nelson.
Well, J.J. Redick has no rhythm at all in this ball game. Has not handled the pressure very well that he's received from LSU.
Look at the jerseys were hooked up. Actually, Redick was inside Temple's jersey. Fans wanted to foul on Temple, but it was Redick who had moved his hand up through Temple's uniform. Paulus for three. Rims out. And Thomas the rebound for LSU. Duke 3 for 15 shooting in the second half. Redick is 2 for 10 in the game.
You've got to give a lot of credit to Garrett Temple. He's been magnificent defensively.
Big baby blocked, and then a foul as Thomas picked up the loose ball. And Sheldon Williams has his second.
LSU's defense on J.J. Redick has been terrific. Big baby comes up, makes him force it, that pass, to try to get rid of it after the double team, and then the step back dribble, and Garrett right in his face, doing a terrific job getting late pressure on that shot. And right now J.J. Redick can get no rhythm at all offensively. Every possession, LSU making him put the ball on the floor to take multiple dribbles into his shot.
Missed free throw by Tyrus Thomas, hitting 67% on the year, looking for his first point of the game. As Darnell Lazar returns for LSU, and J.J. Redick gets a seat on the Duke bench as he's given a breather.
And Mike Krzyzewski talking to him one-on-one. That's a bit unusual. Usually Krzyzewski would send an assistant to say something, but this is important right now. His star is really struggling in this game, and this is where he needs a little bit more one-on-one attention from his head coach.
A very calm demeanor by the coach there, really talking father to son. Thomas misses both. Redick in the game, 2 for 3 from outside the arc. He's had to go inside to elude the defense, where he's 0 for 7.
With Redick out of the game, 2-3 zone now for LSU. Remember, they are long and athletic.
Redick's coming right back in. He's already at the scorer's table. Inside to Williams. And that'll be a travel on Sheldon Williams. 11th turnover for Duke.
Dick, anytime you have to take that many dribbles in order to make your move, you're likely to have a problem. You're likely to draw the defense or get a travel call, which is exactly what happened to Sheldon Williams on that occasion. This LSU team has done a terrific job of not allowing any straight line drives. Everything is angled, so it's multiple dribbles for Duke to make a move.
Starting 5 for Duke now back on the floor for Krzyzewski, as you saw Redick returning. Almost lost it, Garrett Temple. Mitchell. In and out. Rebound unsuccessful. And look at Thomas again, how high he goes. And that might have been on Lazar in the scramble. He picked up the foul, his first.
Tyrus Thomas, even when missing, is spectacular. The shot by Mitchell, rims out up front, comes off softly, and Thomas goes directly behind him to get that. That went way behind his head, and still able to go back with that athleticism, those long arms, and corral that rebound.
Duke trailing by 5 as Reddick guns from outside. Not there. It was Thomas beating McRoberts to the ball. This is Lazar at the other end. And out of bounds to LSU.
A terrific defensive play by Greg Paulus to knock that away. And J.J. Reddick continues to struggle. This LSU defense has been on him all night long. The double team, he throws it away. There on the catch, making him put it down and then blocking it from behind. Garrett Temple has done an amazing job, perhaps the best all season that anybody's done on J.J. Reddick.
Inside Mitchell, and partially blocked and pulled off by DeMarcus Nelson. Nelson takes it coast to coast. No one picked him up. Williams gets it back, and a foul will be on Thomas. And that'll be for Tyrus Thomas, his 4th.
Perhaps unfortunate for LSU that DeMarcus Nelson didn't make that layup because it exposed Thomas to his 4th foul.
So Thomas will go out. Looks as if big baby Davis will replace him. Sheldon Williams aims for his 18th point in the game, leading all scorers. A reminder, golf's greatest star currently wasn't always welcome at the private clubs around the country. So what did Tiger Woods do about it? You'll see tomorrow night on 60 Minutes. Davis has returned, and Thomas gets a seat with his 4th foul.
Thomas being out of the game takes a major shot blocking presence away for LSU. Players can hear footsteps when he's in the ball game.
19 points for Sheldon Williams. How he has kept Duke in the game. Duke fans on their feet. 3-point game. Davis. And Reddick last touched it. He knew it. And with that, a timeout. Look at the Duke players come out to meet the starters. They're trying to fire them up. The young man there is a captain in the U.S. Army. That's Mike Krzyzewski's son-in-law with his wife Jamie, the daughter of the Krzyzewskis. He's here on a 2-week leave from Baghdad. He's in charge of the green zone in Baghdad, the security issues there. He has a quick 2 weeks. In fact, the plane that left Baghdad was peppered with gunfire. They had to do some rather exotic maneuvers just to get out of Iran and Iraq rather. And here he is with his wife, able to time it so they can see the final 4. Down goes Temple, and he's holding his calf in pain. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
That's what it looks like, a cramp. But he did have a straight line drive to the basket, and it was only Sheldon Williams coming over with that left arm to block that shot. Williams has an incredible ability to block shots coming over from the weak side.
LSU in a dry spell, no field goals in 4.5 minutes. Big baby Davis against Williams, can't get it to fall. Whistle underneath. Will this be on Sheldon Williams? Yes, it is, his 3rd.
Davis is so agile at 310 pounds, able to put that ball on the floor, and because of his size, it is hard for a shot blocker to come across him and get a piece of that ball without fouling.
1 for 3 from the line in the game. Looks for his 8th point.
Glenn Davis has had a magnificent season. The SEC Player of the Year, averaged a double-double, was very consistent, and all season long has been in double figures.
Hits both free throws, elevate the Tiger lead to 5 once again. 14% shooting in the second half for Duke.
Well, really, it's been all Sheldon Williams. Nobody else for Duke has been able to get anything going, especially Reddick. 19
for Williams, 16 for the rest of the Duke team. There's the 3 from the corner, and it goes to DeMarcus Nelson, the sophomore from Elk Grove, California. His first contribution tonight.
And give Lee Melchione credit. Off the double team, the pass from Reddick. He drove it and put that LSU defense under some stress.
Lazar, Melchione defending him. Darrell Mitchell. And that's going to be called a travel. Tough defense. So he gets the 3 at one end and forces the turnover. DeMarcus Nelson at the other.
You can see the double team coming in immediately. Lee Melchione attacks the closeout by Glenn Davis. That caused the defense to collapse. And DeMarcus Nelson ready to shoot as the ball arrived. That was good offense, and the first good offense we've seen in this second half from Duke.
And you just know Reddick is due to hit a couple, and there's a reach in on Temple. No, it just called out of bounds as Temple slapped it away from Reddick.
Garrett Temple has been terrific, moving his feet there on the catch. His hands have been very active.
McRoberts. Lazar didn't see him. The lob pass ties it up. First time the game's been tied since 10-all early. And the Duke fans on their feet as we approach the midpoint of this second 20-minute period. Tasman Mitchell. Lazar inside with the left hand. Won't fall. Nelson doing a great job off the bench. There's the lob and the basket by McRoberts. Duke claims the lead at 42-40. Timeout LSU. Well, way to go, partner. 42-40. Duke in front for the first time for Blue Devil fans in what must seem like an eternity, as LSU, despite foul trouble on their two big men, had held on to the lead until this midpoint of the second period. We approach 10 minutes to go.
Now some game pressure on this young LSU team.
Tasman Mitchell can't hit. Williams able to knock it away from Davis, and here comes Duke. They're on an 11-3 run. And Nelson has given them a good spark off the bench. Reddick, and again Temple right into his jersey. Pass to Williams. Interior play, and it's Sheldon Williams with 21 to lead all scores.
J.J. Reddick doing a much better job of passing out of pressure. And Josh McRoberts, a fine passing big man as a freshman, able to get it to Sheldon Williams for the easy basket.
DeMarcus Nelson gets his hands on it. The ball again deflects it out of bounds.
Darnell Lazar went for the steal, and that meant that Glenn Davis had to come over to try to stop McRoberts, opening it up for Sheldon Williams underneath.
LSU a meager 3 for 15 shooting in the second half. Another miss. And it's Nelson again clearing the boards. And McRoberts loses the ball. Temple the other way. The runner for Tasman Mitchell not there. McRoberts with two. Tigers down. They had the advantage but didn't push it up court. Here's Nelson. Oh, that's ticky-tack on Davis. Oh, my goodness. That'll be his fourth. How frustrating must that be? With NCAA March Madness on demand, you can watch live tournament games from outside your viewing area on your computer and for free. Sign up now at ncaasports.com/MMOD. So Davis will join his frontline mate Tyrus Thomas on the bench, each with 4. And here is DeMarcus Nelson. He won't look big in the stat sheet at the end of the game, but he's given Mike Krzyzewski about 4 minutes here that have been critical. He has contributed rebounds, ball handling, passing, and scoring.
He has done a very good job. There's been a lot more energy on the part of the Duke Blue Devils over the last 4 minutes of this ball game.
Looks for 5 points here if he makes this free throw to go with his 5 rebounds. And the rebound, McRoberts. Reddick open for 3. Could be the dagger, and it doesn't go down. Roll able to get it away from Sheldon Williams. And look at that, 7.5 minutes plus without a point for LSU.
Well, this is where Daryl Mitchell may need to take over. Second leading scorer and a very potent scorer, and there he is.
Drains the 3, and how big was that for the Tigers? Ends a 14-3 run by the Blue Devils.
Well, he's the emotional stability for this LSU team, especially on the floor right now. He's got to take over for them.
There's Temple again. Jersey to jersey with Reddick. Out to Dockery for 3. And Williams again over the top and able to screen out the LSU Tigers. And the foul against whom? Against Magnum Roll. I think some of the fans thought that Tyrus Thomas had just picked up his 5th.
Well, this shot comes off to the weak side, which most shots do. Sheldon Williams got away with a little bit of a bump Magnum roll. Not quite strong enough to absorb that bump without going under the basket and opening that up for Williams.
7th team foul on LSU. Only 4 whistled against Duke here in the second half. And Williams nails his 22nd point to go with 12 rebounds. What a tournament he has had. He has now scored 67 points in the 3 games of this tournament with 44 rebounds. Matches their largest lead of the game, 5 at 47-42. Even though we seem to be closer to LSU country, this is a predominant Duke crowd. Mitchell. Quick hands and roll will draw the foul. That'll be the 4th on Sheldon Williams for Duke.
Mike Krzyzewski trusting Sheldon Williams as an experienced senior can stay on the floor the last 7:41 without picking up that 5th foul.
Magnum roll from Freeport in the Bahamas. His mother, a big Tom Selleck fan, loved Magnum and gave him that first name.
Good thing she didn't like Gilligan's Island.
What a sports challenge. And he misses both. So free throw shooting opportunities, 3 for 8 for LSU. They do get the rebound. Each possession precious now. And Mitchell had that one partially deflected as he went up with the short jumper. Sheldon Williams at the other end. Look at that quick move and then the block by Roll. Mitchell the other way.
These LSU defenders are long and athletic.
Way off the mark. That handcuffed Roll, and then Mitchell tries to get it inside and does. Finally for Thomas, he's on the board, his first basket of the game.
Boy, what a sweet pass by Daryl Mitchell. And you just throw it up there anywhere near the rim, and Tyrus Thomas can go get it.
Reddick has it knocked away. Now Williams outside to help out, and Reddick shaking his head. He is frustrated. Low point for the season was 11 against Temple. He has 6 tonight. Paulus from outside the arc. And the rebound to LSU. And Thomas gets it. 4 for 20 Duke from long range tonight. Chance to tie or the lead for the Tigers. Roll has it blocked by McRoberts. And Roll, did he save it? No. Yes, he did. They pointed one way and then the other. So Duke will take it to the other end.
Duke's pressure really affecting LSU. Look how far away from the basket Magnum Roll, a 6'11" freshman, has to start out that drive. That's too far for a big guy to have to put the ball on the floor and still make a play.
Big Baby Davis back in the game for LSU. So Sheldon Williams and Davis guarding him, both with 4. And Nelson unable to hit, and Davis knocks his own man out of bounds. Thomas, but Thomas has the presence to bat the ball off McRoberts. Out of bounds to LSU.
It's like running into the offensive line for the New Orleans Saints, just running into Glenn Davis once.
That game against A&M, he wiped out half of the Texas A&M bench when he went over the top of them. Nice pass inside, and Tasman Mitchell ties it at 47.
Well, how about the poise from Tyrus Thomas to be able to deliver that ball?
And the LSU fans stand and cheer as the Tigers rally back from 5 points down. 5:37 to go. We start anew at 47. And the officials now are going to make sure that we don't have a buzzer that's going to interrupt play on a malfunction and create what could be a game-changing experience. The engineers have reported that it's sticking and we don't know what to do about it. I think those guys come to my house when we have a problem.
Well, we're right down the street from Georgia Tech. Maybe some of their engineers can come over and give us a hand.
So both teams will have an extra timeout. Yeah, it worked that time. Short buzzer. Sheldon Williams and company back on the floor for Duke. #1 seeds overall, the Blue Devils against the 4th seeds from Baton Rouge. LSU Tigers toe to toe, just as Big Baby Davis predicted.
Well, right now this game is coming down to defensive stops, big defensive rebounds, and who is going to make a play. This end of game situation now, the last 5:35, not for shooters necessarily or for rebounders, but for players. Who's going to make a play down the stretch?
Ron Brady, who played his college ball at Belhaven College in Jackson, Mississippi, for the Belhaven Blazers. These 4 teams here all coached by players that did not go to major schools. In fact, West Point for Mike Krzyzewski, probably the biggest of the 4. In terms of student enrollment, about 4,000.
Coaches that have come up the hard way. John Beilein, one of the best coaches in the country. Rick Barnes has had extraordinary success at Texas. And John Brady, I think you can make a great case for him as SEC Coach of the Year this year. Bruce Pearl from Tennessee took it.
A long pass cross court to the sophomore, and he pulls up short this time, Nelson. And here come the Tigers seeking the lead. Temple all the way, can't hit the reverse, but there's Mitchell. Tasman Mitchell with 10 points gives LSU the advantage at 49-47. The Tigers have clawed back in the lead. Now it's Redick inside, denied. Thomas with another block, and trying to save it was Davis, but he stepped out of bounds. And for Tyrus Thomas, that is his 5th block of the game, and he has altered many other shots.
Well, on the rare occasion when J.J. Redick has been able to get away from Garrett Temple's defense, he gets past him off this drive. Then he's got to get past Big Baby and also Tyrus Thomas. And Thomas, the long arms, the athleticism, and the timing. You can see why he had 7 block shots against UConn.
Part of the story tonight, J.J. Redick, 2nd leading scorer in the entire nation, has scored only 6 points against the smothering LSU defense. 6 points on 2 for 13 shooting. LSU leading by 2, and the winner to play either West Virginia or Texas. They'll do battle in the 2nd game. Garrett Temple, who has been hawking J.J. Redick throughout the night, committed the foul. Sends Greg Paulus to the line. Paulus averaging just under 7 a game on the season, and that's his 6th tonight on his first free throw attempt. And this one to tie it at 49.
Duke has spent a lot more time at the free throw line in this 2nd half. They have attacked more off the dribble, moved the ball more from side to side. They haven't shot it well, but they've been much more effective in attacking this outstanding LSU defense.
Duke on the season has made more free throws than their opponents have shot, so it is tonight. 11 free throws made to 3. 4.5 minutes left here in the Georgia Dome. 49 all the score. Davis works inside. Can't hit, but there's Thomas again. The high-flying Tyrus Thomas well above the rim once again. He has put on an aerial show.
LSU's best offense has been a missed shot. They have really gone after the offensive glass, whether it's been Tyrus Thomas or Tasman Mitchell.
The long bomb in and out for Redick. He stays cold. Redick with only 6 points in the game. On a couple of trays.
Boy, look at the mobility of Glenn Davis using that left hand, and nobody boxes out Tyrus Thomas. A lot of spectators in white shirts.
2-point lead LSU. Just under 4 minutes to go. Inside to Thomas, batted around, and it comes out to Temple. Temple up the lane, can't hit. Volleyball, then Dockery for Duke the other way.
LSU trying to bat that ball around off the offensive glass. If they can get a mid on it, they need to grab it.
Redick hits the 3. And Duke reclaims the lead, 52-51. Will that get J.J. Redick going? He's hit only 3 shots out of 15, but all 3 have been trays.
One of the few times that Duke has been able to pick off Garrett Temple with a screen.
The Tigers from the Southeastern Conference certainly taking the measure of Duke throughout the night. Darryl Mitchell in and out. Thomas again flying high for the rebound. Did he get the foul on Williams? It'll be his fifth if it's on Sheldon Williams. Nope. The call goes to Greg Paulus, number 3. He and Sheldon Williams were both there. Oh, a big sigh of relief from the thousands, not from Brady. He thought it was Williams all the way. So to the line comes this spectacular leaper, Tyrus Thomas, looking for his first free throw. 0 for 2 tonight. And that's hurting LSU down the stretch. They're 3 for 10 from the line. This one to tie.
Well, they're getting to the free throw line, just not the right guys getting there. They're better percentage shooters.
Hits the second, and with 3:03 left, tied again at 52. What a battle for the Elite Eight. LSU and Duke. The heavy favorites from Durham, North Carolina, the Blue Devils, from running into a tough defense, and there's Reddick frustrated again, thought he had the foul, but no whistle.
Reddick getting the angle to the basket, and Garrett Temple coming from behind. That was all leather. A clean block from behind by Garrett Temple.
Reddick. And Thomas able to save it. And out of bounds he goes over the photographers and takes a nasty spill. He missed 4 games at the end of the season with a bad ankle sprain.
See that ball just getting knocked away, and Tyrus Thomas stepping on that line.
Ball had struck the line too, I think, on the bounce, Jay Billis, but a moot point now as it's Duke's ball. Greg Paulus will trigger it in. 2:46 to go. Each side with 52.
It's been a while since Sheldon Williams has touched the ball. They might want to go into him and let him go to work.
The 2 big men inside, the landlord Williams and Big Baby Davis, and inside goes McRoberts, and Williams gets the rebound. McRoberts over the top, can't get it, and Davis embraces the ball. Watch out, Big Baby, you might deflate it if you squeeze too hard. Well, he did draw the foul from McRoberts, his 3rd.
A freshman foul by Josh McRoberts, fouling 94 feet from the basket. Sheldon Williams with a good opportunity, and McRoberts a second chance going over the top of Davis. Wasn't called for it, but this foul, not a smart play by the freshman, allows Big Baby to walk 94 feet and have the opportunity to put some points on the board.
And Davis 1 point away from double figures. He's scored 10 points or more every game this season. This bulky but agile sophomore from University High School in Baton Rouge. Top 6 players for this LSU team. 4 of them went to Baton Rouge high schools. 2 others from within a perimeter of 50 miles. Another miss. Here comes Duke, 53-52, trailing LSU. 2:25 to go. Reddick loses the ball for a moment. Fans from both sides wanting to call the fouls. Look at Reddick work away from the ball. Finally finds an opening. Takes it inside, and it's knocked away from Williams. Pass ahead to Mitchell. What a play by the Duke player. Wilson goes all the way over the bench.
Dockery.
Sean Dockery out of sight as he went flying over the bench, and a timeout is called.
Well, the LSU worked so hard to get that ball just to lob it up for anyone to grab, and Dockery making a great play to save that back in bounds. Those are game-winning plays.
They got the standby horn going now, and to eliminate the stuck buzzer that annoyed all concerned. Reddick 3 for 17, 9 points for the 2nd leading scorer in the country, averaging over 27 on the season.
Well, his points have come off of threes. He's 0 for 9 when LSU has pushed him inside of that 3-point line.
1:50 to go. Duke with the ball, down by 1. McRoberts with Thomas. Thomas has 4 fouls. And traveling the call on McRoberts. And again, there's Tyrus Thomas. Even though he has 4 fouls, his tremendous leaping ability, you just wonder when you can get a shot off on him.
Looked like Josh McRoberts stepped out of bounds when he put out that left foot.
Ooh, Paulus nearly made a steal. Tasman Mitchell doing a lot. Or no, this is Temple. And John Brady says it might be time for us to talk things over, as John Brady's Tigers have taken on the #1 seed in the tournament, the Duke Blue Devils, and played them dead even. They've led most of the way, and they lead now by 1.
Have to be mindful of Daryl Mitchell here, and also inside. The initial shot defense has to be good, but the offensive rebound important as well.
Davis misses the jump hook, and Duke brings it down, looking for the lead. Riddick sets up on the right corner. What he likes to do is run the baseline. Now he goes inside this time. Sheldon Williams knocked away the defense from Tasman Mitchell, and then Davis has to fight off McRoberts. Ooh, that ball bounces off the chin of Daryl Mitchell. Back to Davis. Look at him run the floor. Out of bounds to LSU. 55 seconds to go.
LSU needs to set good screens off this out of bounds play and see if they can get a slip.
55 seconds left. LSU by 1. Daryl Mitchell off the handoff in the screen, up with a runner. Taken away. Thomas, and then a foul is called. It's going to be on Duke. Paulus. Third on him.
After that offensive rebound was kicked out, that was the time to get the ball to a guard. But Tyrus Thomas very fortunate to get the foul call there after he mishandled the ball, and it was free on the floor.
But Thomas has shown his troubles at the free throw line. As you see, John Brady's wife Misty pulling for Thomas to do something he hasn't accomplished in this game, and that's hit free throws. He's only 1 for 4. But what a rebounding game and blocking game he's had. 13 rebounds and 5 blocks, and twice that many misdirected attempts because of his presence. And again, a meeting of the minds over at the scorer's table.
Referees talking at the scorer's table. This essentially helping to freeze the free throw shooter Thomas.
LSU shooting only 5 of 13, making 5 of 13 from the line. And should they lose, they'll look back on that statistic as a major difference in the game.
And an 8-second differential on the shot clock.
Biggest free throws of this young man's life. Delivers on the first. Hits them both. 7 points in the game for Tyrus Thomas. 3-point deficit to Duke. J.J. Redick, blocking foul called on LSU. Not a popular call.
Boy, they knew the dribble handoff was coming. Daryl Mitchell took the risk of jumping in front, not giving J.J. Redick any time, and you can see jumping in front. That was a good call. The referee really didn't have any choice but to call it. Not sure that's a risk you want to take in that situation, to put a great free throw shooter at the line and stop the clock.
That's a shocker just to see the double zeros there in the free throw column for Redick, who just wears a path to the free throw line on the season. His first attempt tonight. Over a 91% free throw shooter in his great career at Duke.
And missed 5 free throws uncharacteristically in his last ball game.
This one to pull the Blue Devils within a point. 38 seconds left. Redick makes both. 11 points in the game. That matches his low for the year against Temple. All the way, Thomas! Once he got by Redick's pressure, no one to stop him. Paulus down the lane. Blocked again! Thomas has just been sensational. Look at him. This redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge has been absolutely brilliant defensively, and now he gets the breakaway to give LSU the lead by 3.
Duke fell asleep defensively, and Greg Paulus, knowing that they didn't necessarily need a 3, taking it in too deep and challenging the superior shot blocking ability of Tyrus Thomas. And this LSU team is on a high right now.
25 seconds to go, and the LSU Tigers, who have clawed throughout the game, they built a 9-point lead in the middle of the first half, 23-14, despite playing without their top two big men, Big Baby Davis and Tyrus Thomas. They have returned in the second half, and although Duke caught them, tied them, and took a 5-point lead at 45-40, LSU right back in the lead by 3, and here's Daryl Mitchell at the line. He squeaks in a free throw that makes it a two-possession game, and the pressure now really heavy on the shoulders of this #1 seed Duke Blue Devils team.
How many big plays has Daryl Mitchell made for this LSU team all season long?
Misses the second, but Davis gets the rebound, and he is fouled immediately.
The rebounding strength of LSU just taking over in this late game situation. You can see Big Baby just using his mobility to get around Sheldon Williams. Williams doesn't even box him out. A very casual block out by Sheldon Williams.
Davis with a little push on Williams, each man with 4 fouls. LSU 8 for 17 from the line, but here in the clutch they've delivered for John Brady. A 5-point game. He motioning for his defense to go back and set up on the Duke half of the floor.
Doesn't want to give up a cheap foul.
Davis misses the second and gets that rebound too, and he's fouled. Oh my, a one-man show from Davis just when Tyrus Thomas took charge with his defense in that end-to-end drive and slam.
Usually you don't see a team more alert than Duke, especially in a late game situation, but there is no question that LSU has been the more alert team. Nobody blocked out the shooter. Nobody jumped into the lane. I think Duke felt since no one else was on the lane for LSU, they had a free rebound, and Big Baby showed them otherwise.
Big Baby is like 3 men. They don't need all those other guys on the lane. So McRoberts fouls out with 9 points. The freshman from Carmel, Indiana, McDonald's All-America, who has contributed as a starter from the opening bell for this Duke team, and some of those faces drawing longer and longer, the men in white.
With 3+ minutes to go, Dick, we talked about making plays down the stretch. The team that made more plays was going to win, and so far it's been LSU that's made those plays down the stretch.
This man at the line, Glenn Davis, maybe his nickname's Big Baby, but he adds new meaning to Baby Boomer. John Brady's underdog 4th seeds now lead by 6. It's going to take a miracle now for the Blue Devils. 19 seconds to go.
Got to guard that 3-point line without fouling.
Ready. Can't hit the 3 again. Who else? Davis ripping down the rebound to draw the foul with 9 seconds to go, and the Tiger fans stand as one. So do the Texas fans and the West Virginia fans. No one wanted to play Duke.
All of a sudden, this bracket has opened wide. And Mike Krzyzewski coaching perhaps for his last time with J.J. Redick and Sheldon Williams in the lineup. 9 seconds to go, down 6.
2 consensus All-Americans just seconds away from their final bow here in Duke, and what an ugly taste for them. Wallace is out with his 5th foul. He scored 7.
What an extraordinary effort by this young LSU team, and we underscore young. This is a team of freshmen and sophomores. The only senior, Daryl Mitchell, has really led this team through to an extraordinary victory.
Davis with some frosting, and that just about removes any faint doubt as Redick goes out to a deserved applause and a hug from Coach Gay. That's the heartbreak goes with it, folks. The madness brings the elation, and scenes like that as well. What a great player, arguably one of the 2 best in the nation this year. But Glenn Big Baby Davis hits both free throws. Now it's academic. Dockery is allowed to go ahead end to end, and a reach in foul.
No, he
drove it out of bounds. He took it right out of bounds, and it will end in the hands of the 310-pound Davis. And the LSU Tigers with a big upset of this 2006 NCAA championship. John Brady and his Tigers have knocked out Duke 62-54.
It's all right here, baby. It's all right here, baby. It's all right here.
So this big crowd at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta stunned as they see LSU upset Duke, as Tyrus Thomas with 9 points, 5 blocks, and 14 rebounds, the Chevrolet player of the game.